OpenAI Dev Day in London just happened, and O1 was the star of the show. We have some incredible demos to go over today. Let's get right into it. First, the OpenAI team is going to show off O1 building a full stack application to control a drone. It is so cool. Check this out.
I'll put it down right there, and I want to go back to the terminal to start the server we just created. Now, let's take a look at the front end that's already running. Good news, it fetched the battery level, so that's a good sign. I'm going to try to start the video stream to see if that was fired up. It was. Great. So now the real test is ready to take off and see what happens. All right, that works. So let's see if the buttons actually work. If the on-click events were wired up correctly. I guess the good time for a selfie, indeed. Let's take a screenshot of that. If you want to wave at the camera, I'll save it for later. Awesome. And also, I have a surprise me button, so let's see what one decided with this.
Absolutely incredible. Let's go on to the next one. Thanks to the sponsor of this video, AIport and Turning Post. These are great newsletters that cover everything in the world of AI. They break down the latest AI news and breakthroughs in a really easy to read form. They just did a research project where they showed how our own stereotypes get reflected back to us with AI models. For example, they prompted a bunch of text-to-image generators, Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, Yandex.Art, and Ernie VILG to visualize how different generations, so Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, etc., might look. And the results were super interesting. Midjourney seems to think baby boomers are kind of sad and nostalgic. Other models show them living their best lives, so really it just depends on which model you're using, and then that bias is reflected back to you, which if you watch this channel at all, you already know. And a lot of models seem to struggle with Generation X, which is kind of weird. And they couldn't quite get a definition of what Generation X actually looks like. But this all just raises a ton of questions about how we're actually training these models, and these are the types of research reports that AIport and Turing Post cover. So check out these newsletters. I'll drop links to them in the description below. And thank you again to AIport and Turing Post for sponsoring this video. Now, back to the video. Next is an absolutely mind-blowing demo. O1 using voice helps the person through the platform Wanderlust basically find travel plans, look for hotels, and then finally actually finds a bakery, calls the bakery, and puts in an order. It is mind-blowing. Let's watch.
Now with voice. And so if I type in right here, let's say London.
Here's London for you.
So now, as you can tell, I added a few lines of code with the real-time API client, so now I can have this natural conversation with my app. So let's take a look. I'm planning my trip to London and Singapore. Let's say Singapore next week, actually.
Singapore is ready for your visit.
Awesome. Can you show me some places I could check out while I'm there?
Here are some great spots in Singapore.
Nice. I'm thinking I might need an hotel to stay around there. Can you help me?
Here are some hotels in Singapore.
Nice. Can you show me more details about these three?
Here are more details on the hotels.
Great. So two things to highlight here. On the left, as I'm having this conversation with the app, you can tell the transcript is happening with all of the conversation. But on the right side, the cooler thing is that the real-time API has access to tools. So all of you can use it and call your own functions, your own APIs, your own tools. And so in this case, I was able to kind of place pins on the map, annotate the map, zoom on it, fetch details from the internet, and even put some details like this on the screen. And so we really think you're going to love the real-time API. Your users are going to be delighted to have this new way to interact, whether they're driving, cooking, learning, maybe they're on the go trying to be more productive. And now let's try something a bit harder though. So what if we were able to take this real-time API and the capabilities that it has to connect to APIs and tools, but let's go outside of just this voice interface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the phone conversation and have another scenario. Let's go back to London now, please, and specifically around the brewery on Chiswell Street.
We're back to the brewery on Chiswell Street.
Sweet. I have hundreds of developers here in the room. They might enjoy a little snack. Can you show me some pie shops around here, maybe?
Here are some pie shops nearby.
Pretty cool. Can you show me more details about these three things?
Here are more details on the pie shops.
Great. So I'll pause right here. And now you might have noticed that the second one here is actually a demo spot. It's not a real place. The other two are. Well, what we're going to do now is that because this second one seems to accept AI orders, what if we're able to use in the context of this Wanderlust app, not just the real-time API, but also Twilio's phone calling capabilities to connect and place phone calls. So for that, I'm going to invite Ilan from our developer experience team to join me on stage. Thanks, Ilan. I'm going to jump back into the conversation, and I'll ask Wanderlust to do some action for me that would leverage this capability of using real-time API plus Twilio together. So let's check this out. Right, so I think Ilan's push buys seem very interesting. Could you please call them for me, and maybe if you could see if they could get us, say, like 200 pies, maybe a mix of meat and veggie options, but please keep the budget under £1,000.
I'm calling Ilan's Posh Pies now to arrange your order.
Hello.
Hi, it's Ilan. I'm calling on behalf of Renee.
Yeah, this is Alonso. How can I help you?
Great. I wanted to ask about the kinds of pies you offer. What do you have available?
Yeah, we have wheat pies, we have veggie pies, we have apple pies, we have all kinds of pies.
Perfect. How much would 100 meat and 100 vegetarian pies cost?
Ooh, that's a lot of pies. That'll come out to around, I don't know, 1,200 pounds.
That's a bit over our budget.
I don't know if I can put it at 800, but I'll meet you at 1,000 if you guys feature us at your event.
All right. £1,000 is it?
Okay, so at 1,000 pounds.
Yes, £1,000. Can you confirm the order for me, please?
Yeah, so you said 100 meat, 100 vegetarian.
That's still there. I'd like to place the order for 100 meat and 100 vegetarian pies. When can we expect delivery?
Oh, where are you located?
We'll need delivery to the brewery at 52 Chipwell Street.
Oh, for sure. We're actually right next door.
Fantastic. Thank you. We look forward to the pie. Goodbye.
Okay, it'll be there in like 43 seconds. Goodbye.
Next, you're going to see the power of the real-time API. That is essentially advanced voice mode and the interaction between a human and whatever the human wants to learn. And in this case, planets and some information about the planets. Let's watch.
Hey, so can you tell me, what is the biggest planet in the solar system?
Absolutely. The biggest planet in our solar system is Jupiter. It's so massive, it has more than twice the mass of all the other planets combined. Jupiter is the giant among giants.
Okay, great. So real-time interaction works, and I think it's going to be a more fun way of learning. But let's see if we can make it a bit more interactive. Hey, I'm curious about Earth.
Sure thing. Earth is the third planet from the Sun and the only one known to support life. It's packed with diverse ecosystems, abundant water, and a protective atmosphere that shields us from harmful solar radiation. Do you want to know more about Earth's characteristics?
Well, I see that there's actually a lot of water there. So can you tell me, how much land is there versus water?
Absolutely. Approximately 71% of Earth's surface is covered by water, while the remaining 29% is land. Our blue marble truly lives up to its name. Let me show you this on a pie chart. Here's the breakdown of Earth's surface.
Okay, great, thank you. I actually have a question about Mars now.
Mars, the red planet. What would you like to know?
So I heard there was a lot of volcanoes there. Can you tell me, which one is the biggest?
Absolutely, the biggest volcano on Mars, and in the entire solar system, is Olympus Mons. It's about 13.6 miles, nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest. Would you like more information on Olympus Mons?
Yeah, can you tell me, like, what are the 3 biggest volcanoes and show me their heights?
Certainly. The 3 biggest volcanoes on Mars are 1. Olympus Mons, 13.6 miles, 22 kilometers high. 2. Ascraeus Mons, about 11.3 miles, 18.1 kilometers high. 3. Arsia Mons, around 11.2 miles, 18 kilometers high.
Okay, great, thank you.
How incredible was that? Keep in mind, all of that is dynamically generated. That is not predefined anywhere. So it really shows the vision of what the future of education can be. Plus, OpenAI had a couple other smaller announcements. Let's go over those now. You can now build speech-to-speech experiences with 5 new voices, which are much more expressive and steerable. And they're lowering the price by using prompt caching. Cached text inputs are discounted 50% and cached audio inputs are discounted 80%. Huge discounts towards intelligence too cheap to meter. And everybody in the audience is getting access to O1 Preview. Some thought it was the full O1 model, but Olivier Godement, who is the head of product for OpenAI, says we're giving audience access to O1 Preview. We're still working on the full O1 and plan to release it soon. And Jimmy Apple's, of course, right there to comment. Now, it's a little weird because we've already had access to O1 Preview, so maybe Europeans haven't had access to O1 Preview yet. Maybe that's what's going on, but either way, very cool. So those are the major updates from Dev Day London. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.